Hello. Today I will be conducting a policy briefing to the President of the United States in the role of Secretary of State. I will discuss the U.S.-China competition and Taiwan's security. I will be briefing you on how increasing competition with China is shaping Taiwan's security, and I will discuss what policy approach the United States should take moving forward. First, we must discuss the problem. The core issue is the rapid rise in tensions between the United States and China, with Taiwan at the center of this competition. China views Taiwan as a breakaway province and has made reunification a top priority, while the United States has a long-standing interest in maintaining Taiwan's security and autonomy. In recent years, China has significantly increased military pressure on Taiwan. This includes frequent airspace incursions, naval operations, and large-scale military exercises near the island. These actions are meant to intimidate Taiwan and signals China's growing capabilities. The problem lies not just in the pressure itself, but the increasing risk of miscalculation. A small incident, like an accidental collision or a misinterpreted military movement, could escalate quickly into a broader conflict. Right now, Taiwan is one of the most dangerous flashpoints in U.S. foreign policy. Now, we must look at the scope of the issue. This issue is global. Taiwan produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors and nearly 90% of its most advanced chips. These are essential for everything from smartphones to military systems. A conflict over Taiwan would disrupt global supply chains, damage the U.S. economy, and impact industries worldwide. In addition, the Indo-Pacific region is home to several key U.S. allies, including Japan and South Korea, who would be directly affected by instability. There are several key stakeholders involved in this issue. First is Taiwan itself, whose security and democratic system are directly at risk. Second is China, which sees Taiwan as part of its territory and is increasingly willing to use pressure to achieve its goals. Third is the United States, which has an interest in maintaining regional stability, protecting democratic partners, and upholding its credibility. Finally, we have U.S. allies in the region, such as previously mentioned Japan and South Korea, who are major stakeholders. They rely on U.S. leadership and would be directly impacted by any conflict. Because of these overlapping interests, any policy decision must carefully balance deterrence and stability. Currently, the United States follows a policy known as strategic ambiguity. This means the United States does not clearly state whether it would defend Taiwan in the event of an attack. At the same time, the U.S. supports Taiwan through arms sales, diplomatic engagement, and maintaining a strong military presence in the region. This approach has helped maintain peace for decades by deterring China while avoiding direct provocation. However, as China becomes more powerful and assertive, there is growing debate over whether this policy is still effective. There are three main policy options moving forward. The first is to maintain strategic ambiguity, continuing the current approach. The second is to shift to strategic clarity, where the U.S. would clearly commit to defending Taiwan. This could strengthen deterrence, but also risks provoking China. The third option is to strengthen deterrence without changing official policy. This would involve building stronger alliances, increasing regional cooperation, and improving Taiwan's ability to defend itself. Each option has trade-offs between deterrence and escalation. As Secretary of State, I recommend the third approach, which is maintaining strategic ambiguity while strengthening regional deterrence. This includes deepening cooperation with allies like Japan, increasing joint military presence in the Indo-Pacific, and expanding diplomatic pressure on China. It also involves supporting Taiwan's shift towards asymmetric defense strategies, which focus on making invasion more difficult and costly. This approach is the most balanced because it deters aggression while minimizing the risk of escalation into full-scale conflict, which would not be in the interest of America. In conclusion, Taiwan is a critical issue in U.S.-China competition with global implications. The risk of conflict is growing, but it does not have to be inevitable. By strengthening our alliances, supporting Taiwan, and maintaining a careful diplomatic strategy, the United States can provide an effective way to deter aggression while preserving stability. Our goal is clear. We want to prevent conflict, protect the interests of the United States of America, and maintain peace in the Indo-Pacific region. Thank you for listening to my briefing, and may our decisions lead to a more prosperous United States of America.